Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's digital reveal day, which I haven't done in forever. It feels like that. Oh my gosh. And it has. I mean, it's been a while. It's been about 3 weeks since I've revealed either a set of goodies or a digital kit. Our last one was that So Vintage or So Shabby Vintage journal kit and extras and words. And a lot of you have purchased my most recent general vertical words, which I thank you to Lorette at Vintage Paper Girl and Gail for showing those off for me so I didn't have to. I love you and your followers. They make all the world a difference. And all of you for purchasing those words and many other things, because words are absolutely awesome. But I'm here today to reveal a summer kit. And this is Summer Florals. And this is one of my journal kits. We have about 10 pages of papers and patterns and about 11 pages of ephemera. So it's a little bit on the smaller side, back to my normal sort of manageable set. We'll see if anything else comes of this later down the line. I know we still have all of July and all of August for summer. Some people do a little bit into September when it comes to summer. Here in California, we definitely get a later summer sometimes, and the kids go back to school, and we feel like summer when school starts, not fall, which is very weird for us. And then, then we get into fall. But I know a lot of us probably, we're going to have to hold off the best we can in August not to start jumping into fall, because the fall kits are absolutely gorgeous. And I hope to, of course, have those made for you guys so that come for beginning and middle of August, the fall kits will be out, so that you guys can start prepping for fall, and then there'll be winter and Christmas, and oh my god. Someone put the other day how many Mondays till Christmas, and I about died. I was like, no, I'm not ready. But so much is coming up, a lot going on, so we're going to reveal this. Then I'll give you some updates of what's coming up, what to look out for, and then we'll go from there. I will have a journal with me this week and all kinds of stuff, but I'm just so stoked that it's Tuesday, and I'm hanging out with you guys at the beginning of the week, and we're revealing a new kit. So let's get started. We're going to start with the papers, as I always do, and then I'll show you all the goodies that go in it. So, starting off the day is with our full page decorative journal papers. Pages, I guess. When they fold in half, they do beautifully, decorate one side or the other of your papers and pages in your journal. And this time I made sure, or tried to, instead of just having a bunch of stuff on here, I did sort of white out areas where you could actually write notes or journal on even the decorative pages. I definitely wanted the florals to be the florals and the little critters and their bright colors to be the stars of the show, but not so much, all the background stuff to sort of pull from it. And this way you have the ability to journal on it within the beauty of the pages and not be like, oh, I can't do anything to these pages. So you get to journal on them. So you don't have to worry about covering anything up, but you can actually journal on them. And I backed everything on with one of our two pattern papers, and they are very much non-directional. So there's no worry about accidentally, printing upside down. So I went ahead, of course, and pre-cut these. I went ahead and printed them fit to print, so that way I had a pretty even border all the way around them for front and back, and that way when I trimmed them, this is a nice clean look, and there's nothing cut off. Sometimes I'll print them in actual size, and there's going to be a little trimmed off, but I didn't want to lose any of our little snail or a bird or butterflies or anything like that. And I didn't want to cut off too much color from the flowers, so I went fit to print and then trimmed off the whites already so that you guys can see just the gorgeous patterns and papers and not all the white fluffy stuff. And I just did this on my, 100 bright white 32-pound paper. So it's really full print, full color. It's really gorgeous. Now, you can try to do this on a draft end if you wanted to mute it out a little bit. Just do a quick print, and it wouldn't be as solid. I did this on best, and you really get to see the vibrance of all the colors. Then you have your second page, sort of the reverse of the first one, and you get more of a wider square. And we put the ledger paper smaller in the back and rearrange the goodies and where they are. But again, when folded in half, they're just a great decorative page to balance out your journal. And like I said, you get to sort of journal on them. So isn't that nice? And still a little room to cluster more if you wanted to. So then there's a second pattern paper. Again, very non-directional. I always want to get those confused. Very non-directional. Where no matter what you do, you'll have this to go in many directions and you really can't tell the difference, which is lovely. wash stuff out and thin things out, and I just had some fun with it. I really did. This was a lot of fun. The only thing that's upside down would be the words, but it doesn't really matter. It's pale, it's light, you're not trying to read it. So it is it's one of my favorite, I guess, on the patterns. Then I did simplify the pages to where you had plenty of room to journal on. You could journal on these, you could put the tucks on them, you could put a belly band on them, you can't quite put something over the edges. I do design on the tops and edges of pages, but you could definitely still put a belly band here if you wanted, or on this side, you have room. On this end, you could, tuck something, create a tuck on this side and not feel like you're covering up all the fun, important stuff. But I took one of the 2 pages, I said, of the pattern papers and put it on the back of each one, so I won't show each one of the backs. Then I did a much lighter. The 2 things were definitely the ledger paper and the graph paper was sort of my backing besides the old newspaper print. Those are my 3 sort of papers that I was using that were on the vintage end of it all. And these are all watercolor images that I actually got the monotone version and went ahead and picked pretty much a basic rainbow of colors that I created and went ahead and used them. This is my butterfly that we've played with. I totally had forgotten about this gorgeous purpley color jeweled butterfly that I made, and so I threw it in there. It's one of my own personal elements to the kit. But this one again gives you plenty of room to write on. I did definitely give you guys more writing space on my decorative journal pages than I normally do. So there was just more flexibility. But then I did create pages that actually have no room to write on. These were adorable. It came to me when I was working on stuff, and I went, what if I cluster all my favorite, goodies? And you can see the full cluster, instead of always just been stuck in the corner. Played with the florals, played with the 3 basic papers, and clustered them nicely. Now, I did back these guys, though, with my journal paper. You have 2 patterns and 2 journal pages. Honest to God, full, and I did it at an angle. I know that seems sort of weird, but I thought it was sort of pretty, something different. I'm left-handed, and I turn my paper this way. If you're right-handed, either way, we sort of turn the paper anyway. I think when we write, I don't think anybody writes straight up and down. I could be wrong. I don't even know how. But I'm left-handed, so I can't even imagine writing on something upright. I'm left-handed, so I don't even imagine, not turning the paper anyway. So there's one of my journal pages, which I totally forgot, which is a great addition to the back of these guys, right? Because you could either fold it, go journal, and then you have that. But you could vary these as we went along. Because there's 2 sets of everything. There's the second set of clusters. And each one's a little different, which I love, because again, this one has the graph paper in the background as a layering element. This one was more sort of almost like I made my little washi tape with flowers on it on each corner. So they're just a little different, but still within the reason. And then this one has the lined journal page on the back. It's very similar, just a nice lined or blank, depending what you need. And then I just happen to have extras. So there's a plain one, and I put the paper behind it as another option, like for all these journaling, that you had something different on the back of it than just something else, so you could keep going. And then I just did it simply like this, where I could have a journal to journal page to keep it very simple. So all the different variations. You can go journal to journal page. When you print it, you can go journal to pattern, so that gives you a variance within your kit. Or these are really great pages, I said, to put the journal pages on the back of. And it just depends on how much journaling you want to do. It's nice to have those pages and those options. And of course, you can put on every one of these pieces of paper, one of the 2 patterns on the back. So that it might get a little heavy, but depending how you fold it, you would have a nice continuous variance. And then of course you're going to put, this is where your tucks and your envelopes and all your things go on them, because you have this great, set. But these are absolutely adorable. I love these too. These are fun for me. It's something a little different in my decorative end. But I would start with the first one, which has everything on it, and then I either have to pare it down or rearrange it or try to figure out another way to get, something of the same quality or quantity within the page. But it definitely, it tones down as you go along. You go from busy to not as busy, right? To totally differently clustered a completely different way. And then the journal pages, of course, that you should have while doing these. You should have at least, 2 options to print as much as you see fit. I know I bought a kit the other day, and I printed pretty much her journal pages on the back, her journaling pages on the back of every one of her decorative pages, so that I had a lot of writing space because it was really something I actually truly wanted to journal in. So this may be a great one for that, for the summer fun, summer vacations, summer adventures, summer crafts. Maybe you want to log the crochet blanket you worked on, or I'm into diamond painting, and so it's sort of somewhere between paint with numbers and cross stitching. And there's projects like that work together and why I'm doing them or what the kind of benefits I get from them, or you never know what you want to journal about. So hopefully you will find that inspiration within this kit for summertime. All right, so there's 10 of those pages total. The decorative, the patterned, and the journal pages, right? 2 journal, 2 pattern. So then it leaves you 6 decorative. And then we have 11 pages of these. I had not intended to be that crazy. I was like going along. Pretty soon I'm just filling in the pages, and I was like, oh, filled my template out and went, oh, well, okay. 11 pages of ephemera. So you have plenty to build up on this one. From our little folded coin pocket with the tabs to help make it thicker so it holds more, to our stacked corner pieces as we've seen. And I flip this one, flip the one around. So this one stays here on this one. This will get rotated to go back behind this one. Great, that same pattern again, really pretty to play with. So you've got it individually, and you can stack, not stack them or stack them in different ways. Because I haven't thought about it till just now. Let me see something here. Oh, I know, out of order. What if you could do, if you really wanted something different, would be to stack this guy, actually, over this one. So you'd have this little triangle coming out of this one. You'd have that, and then the triangle sort of tucked behind it. So this is not a bad thing. You can even stack these guys and then layer it one more time. So you have these stacked on top of this. You have a little bit of this showing, and this one behind that one. So no one says all the shapes have to match. You could have a lot of fun stacking all the different shapes to make it a very tall thing of pockets. Especially when the pages are, 8 inches tall, you can do just this one tipped the top of the page. I think you could get the other 2 triangles overlapped underneath, and you could have a really long page of stackable. So I'll have to try that one day and show you guys to see how it looks. I never thought about that till now. Sorry. Now I didn't back any of these yet because I'm not sure exactly where I'm putting all of them. And when I'm ready, of course, I will put these all through, some of these through the printer again with a backing, because some things you're going to see the inside of and some you're not. All right, so this one is now upside down. Let's try this again. So I have a little card, my stamps, coins, bordered label, the 2 pockets that I like to create, my scallops, and then just my hole punch, which again, these are the 1.5 inch hole punches, thumb notches. So it's really easy just to go right inside the line and use your hole punch, and it comes right out. Your circle punch. I should call it your hole punch, your circle punch. Little washi type band there for a decorative piece. And you actually get a few of the new vertical words. I think I did like 3 words just to fill some space. And so you get a couple of these lovely new words. See, there's the other 2. So you get another, another coin, little mini ephemera pocket. You can cut it out, use it however you see fit, but it does with all the tabs. I usually do this one first, then you fold that one in, they all glue together, and you fold this one down, which will be really pretty, just cute little plop over the paper, which is really hard for me to ever want to glue these down. I don't know how people use them. I think most people use them and put them in a pocket, put the pocket in a pocket, or put the envelope in a pocket. We have a couple tabs. You have some more bordered labels. You have the flags. Using those square pieces were a lot of fun. I try to give a variety, though, of both the white sort of background and the paper background on items so that we weren't stuck one way or another. These fold down nicely. You'll have flowers on both ends for a nice tab. Of course, we have our large ones, and I did make sure that I sort of tightened up my tags this time around so that when you folded them, you could keep them as a trifold and not have so much in the middle that you had to distress. I know I was getting for some reason, I was getting a little far apart. And in this one, I definitely have these 2 that are more lapped front and back. And this is, I would probably put this one on the outside. This would be on the inside fold, and this is the back. So if you decided to glue this down, it wouldn't be a huge, like, oh my gosh, I'm covering up the prettiest piece, right? Or you had this to really decorate up. If you folded it the other way and you put your favorite paper on the back of it and you opened it up, this would be what would be on the inside. And you could put a notepad here. You could put strips or little pockets up here, you know, for fun things and have some inner decorative. Now these are the 1-inch punches, by the way. I normally don't do coins these small. It's been a while, I should say, because the other coins are 1.5-inch punches. Now, and they may come up a little short. If you go fit to print, it may shrink them just a smidge, but then, you know, you should still get a pretty even circle punch on the 1.5, and you just distress that a little bit of white if it just comes up a little smaller than the hole punch. Same here, these are 1-inch. So I decided I had the gap and nothing else fit there, so I made them 1-inch. So there was another layer. Oops. And then we have the 4-up medium tags, and I did 2 sets of little scallop tags, and I did put these side by side here and side by side here, to where you could make them tiny little folded, little folders, little booklets, just tiny little things. Instead of having them all separate and empty, I sort of matched them and paired them up to make them cute little elements. Of course, my butterfly and this lovely snail that we used back at the wildflower kit. I want to say the wildflower botanical kit is when we first introduced these guys. I think so. Yes, wildflower botanical kit. So they're definitely sticking to the summer theme. And you have these 4 that you can keep them all together, cut them in half into 2 sets or 4 separate sets. Either way, just cut them down the middle. Yeah, I definitely would cut across the top, fold them nicely, and then trim your triangles if you're going to keep them attached. But those are really, adorable, trying to get elements of everything from the light papers to the decorative little journal pages. Then this was the fun thing that after creating those side-by-side pages with the squares in them, it definitely automatically led me to do my large journal cards with these as the featured showcases within each journal card, which I think with the right paper on the back are just going to be great additions to your pockets and for your journaling. Being a larger card and then just so perfectly maybe balanced on the front. You don't have to decorate these if you didn't want to, or you can there's still room to add some layers. But if you wanted a few journal cards that you didn't have to do anything with, because you got your tags to decorate and everything else, these could easily be put on your favorite coffee paper or parchment paper, cream cardstock. If you really want a little bit more punch to mute these down a little bit if you're not quite this bright, then you'd have these great journal cards ready to go. And that is the thing. If you're definitely more vintage, you're definitely a little bit less bright, a little bit more muted, all of the ephemera, I would definitely suggest printing on parchment paper, cream cardstock. If you really wanted to grunge up the summer florals, you could put it on coffee or tea dyed paper, and that would definitely tone it down. It'd make it darker in some ways, but it'd be definitely more of a creamy feel than the white. And that's a great way to help tone down something if I have too much white or too new in the kit. And you can do that with any of them, even on the papers, all of it. So, okay, I can't decide which way, but here you go. These are the smaller journal cards. These are the 6-up. We have 2 patterns, of course. We have 2 horizontal and 2 vertical. I actually did it to where you had some nice vertical cards for once. I don't do vertical all the time. These guys are either, the paper's full size pages shrunk down, so they're horizontal, or, they're vertical. So I try to do a little bit of both for these guys. And these guys, being non-directional, can go vertical or horizontal and however you want, and layer them up and you're all set to go. You have a full tuck or belly band right here with a cute little guide, our cute little bluebird down below. He was the other favorite of the group this round. 2 more belly bands for you guys. This one, I know it's a little tough. You can decide just how wide you want it though. I figure the nice part with this one, it's sort of bleeded down here. And it's going to be a little hard to decide where it ends. But you really could make it you could go all the way to the edge of your paper with this one, make it a very wide and still give you room to put lace, a belly, a washi tape. You could really decorate the edge of it and make it a wider tuck on your papers. Or you can sort of eyeball where that line sort of stops and trim it to my standard size belly band. So totally up to you. And then I did do, just for fun, because you have to have new elements or elements we haven't seen in a while, the sort of mini file folder element to use as you see fit. Again, it goes down the middle. You have that for decorative, and you can add your papers to it and add as a great addition. And if you had to glue this side down, it wouldn't be a huge, oh my gosh, or it's inserted into your middle of your signature. I've seen a few ladies lately who've made miniature books, and they're sewing them to the middle of their journals. So it's sort of a mini inside of a normal journal. So that's been a fun thing to see and stoked to hear that concept. So hopefully, if you guys have a lot of my mini file folder kits, it's a great thing to decorate them up, and yeah, sew them into the middle of your signatures, right? Make it the middle of your signature is this little mini book. Great addition. So there's that. Then I have a rectangled 4-flap envelope that will fit your journal cards, your larger journal cards. I try to make sure when I make the envelopes that they do fit the journal cards in them, so your ephemera is not like sticking out. I don't know if my tags fit there. I never thought to check the tags. I would say a medium. I want to say my medium tags will fit in here, but not the large tags, of course. Another belly band, which is a fun element of to layer up on. And then 2 smaller envelopes. This one's just really simple, basic, one of my basic original designs that, again, will fit the smaller journal cards. And then this is the scalloped clutch purse design, but smaller. And I didn't get quite as crazy over here because we don't have a lot of space, so I didn't want to lose it. So you just have a nice little thumb notch on this one. It's a straight on this end. This one would be great to use more of as to flip flip it open or flip it out, and you've got a basic pattern on both sides. This one's definitely more decorative. So this floral pattern will lay over this one, which will be really pretty. And then you have the pretty on the back side. So plenty of elements there. You can cut off as you see fit. Use it how you want. But I figured you'd have the flap envelope for larger and the cuter ones, smaller ones for the smaller journal cards. But this is that clutch envelope design that I have. And then some fussies. And this is sort of what got me started. Was I had taken 6 different flowers from a very large kit that I had purchased and took the monochrome artwork, and I went ahead and picked the colors that I wanted for each stint of them. I did put a light cream outline on these guys to help with the fussy cutting, because some of these all of a sudden bled and you couldn't tell where it ended. So I tried to make sure the ends, sort of had a start and stop point, so it's easier to cut around. It may help with your scanning cuts, but it is a light color, so I don't know if the light cream makes a difference or not. I just know it's a little easier when you're trying to cut stuff around and you have something to sort of help bleed into and not so much white. So you have my clusters. I think all 4 of the main clusters that are on the papers. Either the clusters started out on the decorative pages, in the decorative corners, and then I expanded on them and put them into these guys. So this official final clusters ended up over here. So you have, them to add to those cards, those journal cards, those washi belly bands, envelopes, pockets, whatever you need. You have, 3 sizes. 2 of them are half the size, and then a little smaller than that if you really want something little. And then you have these guys. So when you cut them, you can make your own clusters. However you need to fill in, you have those elements. So that was a lot of fun just to give you guys this concept. And then you have, like I said, you have 1 snail and 1 butterfly as filler within the, in the kit. So you can layer, the flowers with layer a bouquet of flowers and put the butterfly in the middle of it, or, make your own cluster and put the snail all around it, or, things like that. So that's it, ladies and gents. Those are the 11 pages of ephemera, hopefully to enhance your paper needs. And with these, like I said, there's many, as I show, there's all these different ways to back the combinations to where you can decide, what works best for you. I didn't even think to back the main pages with any of the journaling pages, because they do have journaling capabilities. So if they had a journal option here, I put a pattern on it. And if there wasn't anything to write on, then I put a journal page on the back of it, right? So that was sort of my thought process when I was printing, and I'm like, well, how do I want to balance that? And so that's what I decided to do. And I am totally out of order. Not that it matters, not really. I mean, you guys can keep them as you see fit, but that's it, ladies and gents. We are another journal under my belt. This will be, of course, it's available in Etsy for you guys as of this morning. So, of course, it's always up and ready for you when you guys get to this. If you're ever wondering where to find it, it will be listed down below in the contents. I really appreciate you watching and that you're following along. Hopefully you've subscribed. If you haven't, I hope you will. You can also find me on Instagram and over on Facebook. Both are under A Jewel Design. I even have a Crafters of Jewel Design group started. So if you are in Instagram or you're in Facebook and you have photos of the things you've created with my digitals over the past year, we love that you'd come and share with the rest of us to encourage others, to inspire others, to simply just warm my heart and let me know that what I'm doing is on the right track and that you guys are enjoying what I've made. Hopefully you have some photos or videos. You're more than welcome to send me a message and say, hey, I did a video on such and such journal. And then, though I believe my rules say you're not allowed to promote your YouTube channel, let me know. Show me, send me the link to your YouTube video that happens to show, this, and I'll be more than happy for me to share it in the group. Look what such and such did, and that way there's no chance of craziness. But I am more than welcome to share an occasional video with everybody if that's the only proof you have of it and you're like, oh my gosh, I made it and I sold it, or I made it and gave it away. You have a picture of it from your Etsy shop, whatever it is. I really hope you'll come share it with us on my Crafters of a Jewel Design group in Facebook. Ask to join, and we can go from there. And the biggest thing is, besides one more retro reveal, one more retro journal with me this week. We're going to work on the Heroes in Retro cover to my Traveler's Notebook that we've started a little while back ago. We're going to be working on that this Thursday. So if you've been following along with my retro stuff, hopefully you'll tune in on Thursday. We're going to go ahead and work on that. And then the next week is my 1-year anniversary of my Etsy shop of A Jewel Design as a junk journal creator of digital papers. And all kinds of fun stuff is coming up that way. So next week will be a little different. It won't be your standard journal with me. It'll be the giveaway information and the fun things I'm giving away, what I have in my little packet of goodies that will be given away. So I hope you will hang in there and continue to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And you'll come back next Thursday also, besides this Thursday, and see what's going on, what I'm giving away, what's going on, how I've been doing. Just sort of a little bit more chat with me. And of course, there'll be, and then all the official rules will be on Instagram, which will be copied over at Facebook, everywhere. So keep your eyes out, keep your ears open for all of that, because you don't want to miss out on that little giveaway. And my thank you to all of you for, following me and purchasing from me and making this past year just unbelievable for someone who hasn't done this kind of thing before. And it's been a pleasure to design these things for you guys and hopefully inspire and really encourage happy moments within your crafting room. All right, ladies and gents, here it is. So Summer Florals released this morning. I hope you'll go take a look at them over at my Etsy shop, over at Jewel Design. I hope you will purchase them and find that last bit of summer, or the first bit of summer, depending on where you're at, and really enjoy your moments in your craft rooms, in your outdoor space, in your gardens, and that we continue to inspire one another. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, and following me in all my platforms. And I will talk to you guys on Thursday as we work on our retro themes. Talk to you soon.